When I first started postural restoration, I thought most of it came back to the pelvis. And then as I got through my studies, I realized it's more about the rib cage and the neck. But the rib cage in particular, because it's all about airflow management. And humans can go for a long time without food and water, but they can't go for very long without air. So humans pretty much are air manipulating machines. And we can actually direct airflow inside of this rib cage by how we position ourselves. So if you ever look at any PRI exercises and wonder why people are positioned the way they are, the reason is we want to direct airflow in order to expand the rib cage in the places that it's closed down. So if you've heard the term left posterior mediastinum or left posterior rib cage and right front or apical chest wall or lateral chest wall, this is what I'm talking about. So if you see this red right here, this is the right side, this is the left side. So on the right side, this front area of the rib cage is the front apical chest wall. Basically right here and here. This area gets closed when you're on your right foot, like the left AIC, right BC pattern is. You're on your right foot, it corresponds with right stance. The rib cage in front is, the ribs are down and in, and thus those ribs come closer together and are shut down. So those that rib cage in this area is not expanding while you breathe. In the back, it's the opposite. On the right side, this area of the rib cage is actually open. So it closes in front and opens in back. That's when you're on your right foot. When you are still on your right foot on the left side, it is the left anterior or front rib cage that is open. That's why a lot of times you see that left rib flare, elevated ribs on the left side, but in the back, the left side is closed. So in the front, it's open. In the back, it's closed. So the two areas that we concentrate most on in postural restoration is opening the front right side and the left back side. The front right side is generally opened anytime you're reaching with your right arm. See how it's pulling that right side apart? Or anytime you side bend to the left, it's opening up the right side because you're closing down the left side. All PRI exercises are having you close down the left side and open up the right side. The posterior rib cage on the left side is opened by, obviously all this is opened by breathing, but by pushing your rib cage backwards. So when you round your back and side bend to the left and put your hands on a surface and push away and breathe in that position and don't lose that position, I have a video that I posted of the all fours exercise. You're on your hands and knees breathing. If you look at that one, that is the position you're being put in. You're rounding your back to push your rib cage back, side bending to the left, and breathing in that position, and that is what opens the posterior mediastinum. And that can really be limiting. That posterior mediastinum can really be limiting because it never opens up. If your rib cage never opens up back here, you can never get out of your extension position, and you're just going to fall back to the right. So again, airflow management is really the name of the game with postural restoration. We need to open up the front right and open up the back left. We don't really have to think too much about closing down the back right. What we do have to think about closing down is the front left. That's where that rib is flared. And we do that through exhalation. When you do that, that should open up the right side by default. So if you side bend to the left, you're closing down the front left through exhalation. That's the left ZOA. That should, if you're actually doing it, that should open up the right side by default. And the left side, in that side bending posteriorly, if you round your back, that will push the spine backwards, the rib cage backwards, and open up the left side. So we have to Mainly close down that left side in order to open up the right side and open up the posterior left side. So again, it all still goes back to that left ZOA. So if you haven't looked at the video about the left ZOA, if you don't understand that it's all about getting this left ZOA, and then by default all these other things will start to work together, you should really check out that video, because that is the key. It's all of everything. I thought the left ZOA was just some part of one of the courses that I took. A couple years in, I finally realized the left ZOA is essentially everything. Something is preventing you from getting a left ZOA, so you can't get to the left, so you can't get off the right side. So again, I highly recommend you check out the left ZOA video if you have not watched it yet. A big part of the healing process is exercise, and in particular, training the movement patterns that you've lost. So if you like this video, could you please like it, share it, subscribe to the channel, do whatever you have to do to spread the word so other people can benefit just like I have.